The Cubs have won their second straight series, but it was a little anticlimactic considering they played the Rockies. They were supposed to be back on it, and they didn't sweep. In fact, they lost a game. They were up 2-0 in game 2 and lost 5-2. Do we want better from Edward Cabrera? Absolutely. Did Cabrera leave the game? Yes. But they said he's going to be fine. So that's good. Hand cramp. But 2 out of 3. Yeah, it's a win of a series and baby steps. We need that. A little disappointed they didn't sweep. But this is Clark and Addison, born into the Ivy. I'm your host, David, and we are here to talk more about Cubbies. Don't forget to like and subscribe and leave us a 5-star review on YouTube and or any of our audio platforms. A Rockies review. I'm going to ask this again after the last series like I did. What's the bigger concern? Pitching or hitting? In the short term, I'm going to say hitting still. But in the long term, it is most definitely the pitching. Although the starters have done better recently, now the bullpen's faltering a little bit. They just don't have the arms on either side of that equation, with Palencia now out again and all those other guys. It just sucks. Ben Brown has been a stud and a surprise to the level that he's at. Not that he's been good. That's not the big surprise. But the level that he's been, I predicted the capability, but I'm surprised at how the sustainability so far. They've won 2 out of 3. Pete had a hell of a series. Got the 13th ever cycle in club history on Monday. Hit a home run Monday, hit a home run, leadoff homer on Monday and Tuesday, and then kinda hit a home run yesterday. It was a home run. It goes in the stats of a home run. I think it was foul. But neither here nor there. I also want to say this, because this was an issue, I believe it was last night. Yes, Wednesday night, where a ball was hit into the ivy, and the Rockies reached to get the ball. Might have been Tuesday. Either way, this happened in this last series, right? Reached to get the ball, and then pulled back out and rose their hands, and they were given the ground rule double. Bull crap. You reach to get the ball, and it's fair game. Miguel Amaya should have had an inside the park home run. No doubt about it. Bull crap what they did. I digress. But just so, in case anybody isn't aware of the rules, that's the freaking rules at Wrigley Field. All right, I'll shut up now. In this series, for the whole series, all 3 games, the Cubs again left 30 men on base. That's an average of 10 per game, folks. And they went 5 for 26 with runners in scoring position. And 15 of those 30 was in the first game that were left on base. They were 1 for 10 with runners in scoring position in game 1. And like 0 for 8 in game 2. They went 4 for 8 in the last game. That's awesome. 30 men left on base in the series. Half of that in game 1. It's just not good enough. This team is too talented offensively. And if the guys aren't going to do it, some of them, then why the hell isn't Matt Shaw playing more? Matt Shaw played this series and has killed it. Since coming back from the IL, Matt Shaw, he came back on 6-9. Shaw has 16 plate appearances, which is pathetic that that's all he has, with a slash line of .429 batting average, a .500 on base percentage, a .714 slug, and a 1.214 OPS. Only PCA has better numbers overall. Granted, he's played much more, and so has some of the other guys. But only Pete has more or better numbers in that time span. Does anyone really think that Matt Shaw's defense is so much worse than Dansby Swanson's or Nico Horner's? That his offensive numbers can't make up for that, especially at that, but just in general. Let me give you some crap. In that same time span, since 6'9", Nico is hitting 121 with a 143 on base, a 152 slug, and a 294 OPS. And Dansby looks great comparatively. And we all know what's going on with Dansby. Dansby is on pace to have the worst ever batting average of any Cub regular ever by 30 freaking points. Patrick Wisdom in 2022 hit 207. Dansby's hitting 176 right now. But Dansby in the last however many days, 6-9, which was one of my good friends, Christy's birthday. But I digress. Dansby is 143, 250 average, 286 on base or 286, on base. Nope, that was slug. Sorry, 286 slug and a 536 OPS. Since May 9th, which was the day after the Cubs went 20-3, that span. Since May 9th, Dansby is hitting 143 with a 231 on base, 248 slug, and an OPS of 478. And Nico is not much better. In that same time, since May 9th, Nico is 181 with a 260 on base, a 210 slug, and a 479 OPS. Matt Shaw plays good defense, folks. It doesn't make sense. Somebody leave me a comment and tell me how it makes sense. Or reinforce what I'm saying. It's stupid. And I'm going to keep beating the drum until something changes. Either these guys get hot or they get part-time benched. Nobody's going to get benched. But part-time, like, why can't those guys rotate in and out some? I don't see why not. Why should Shaw be the one who sits all the time when Seiya comes back and is ready? Doesn't make sense. Shaw's the one hitting the freaking ball. All right, I'll shut up. The Toronto Blue Jays preview. The Jays come into the series at 37-38. They've won their last 3 games and are 6-4 in the last 10. Surprisingly, they are not great offensively right now so far this year. They're 23rd in runs per game with 4.08. The Cubs 11th at 4.59. So about a half run difference. The ERA for the Blue Jays is 4.02, 13th in the majors, versus the Cubs 4.26 at 19th. Their starting pitchers are 4.20, 12th in the majors. The Cubs suck. We're not even going to go it. They're 27th. And the relief pitching is 3.83 ERA, 13th in the league. The Cubs at 3.66, 10th in the league. The probable starters, first one's a good one. Tomorrow will be Kevin Gausman at 4-4 with a 3.41 ERA against Ben Brown, 3-2, 1.74 ERA. Saturday, bet the over, kids. The under's probably going to hit now. But bet the over. It's left-handed pitcher Patrick Corbin, 2-3, 4.57 ERA against Colin Ray at 5-5 and a 5.35 ERA. Cubs got to win these first 2. Because after that, they play Dylan Cease, who has always pitched the Cubs well. Dylan is 4-3 this year with a 2.71 ERA, going against Shota Imanaga at 4-6 with a 4.26 ERA. Let's do this real quick.
Go, Cubs, go!
Yeah. Offensively, they are led by Jesus Sanchez with a 790 OPS, Ernie Clement with a 760 OPS, Vladimir Guerrero with a 730 OPS. Those are the only full-time regulars with an over 700 OPS. This team is not good offensively, but this is a good place to go when you need that. Their bullpen is led by Tyler Rogers, who has a 1.80 ERA. Their closer, Lewis Varland, at a 0.90 ERA. This guy, we don't want to get to this guy, frankly. Or Tyler Rogers, frankly. Braden Fisher, all of 4 of these guys are right-handers. Braden Fisher with a 3.26 and Spencer Miles at a 3.30 ERA. Solid guys. They've got some other guys though that are definitely hittable. I would say those last two are hittable for sure too. The other guys though, we don't want to get to them. Thank you very much for watching and or listening to Clark and Addison Born to the Ivy. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave us a 5-star review on YouTube and or any audio platform. And leave us some comments. Have a great day. I want to interact. Let's do it. Also, follow me on Twitter at DB79. No, that's not right. I'll tell you later. My bad. I didn't have it prepared. I apologize. Let's go Cubs.
Go, Cubs, go!